Testing, sound check. 1, 2, 3.
Commissioner Ortiz in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
Place your right hand over your heart. Repeat after me. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. We don't have our secretary today, but Alfonso, can you please call roll?
Yes. Commissioner Uva absent. Commissioner Ortiz.
Present.
Commissioner Montoya.
Present.
Vice Chair Owens absent. Chair Duarte.
Present. Okay, this is the time set aside for oral communications for the Planning Commission. Does any commissioner wish to express an announcement or report on a conference or a meeting or request items for a future agenda? Commissioner Ortiz,
Nothing to report. Thank you, Chair.
Commissioner Montoya,
Nothing to report at the moment. Thank you.
and I have none. Okay, moving along. At this time, we'd like to recognize former Planning Commissioner Steve Dominguez for his years of service to the city of Downey. Please step up here, Mr. Dominguez. So I'd like to, me and Mr. Dominguez actually started at the same time as commissioners. So today's presentation a little special for me. We actually became good friends during our time. And I will say this about Mr. Dominguez, is during our time here, our 4 years together, I knew, me and him actually, I think, probably had different opinions on some votes, probably more than any other commissioner. However, I always respected Mr. Dominguez's vote because I know that it came from, it came from him. His vote was always where I knew where he thought he was doing the best decision for his district and what they wanted. So I always had respect for any vote he made because I think that was definitely something in terms of I could never see wrong in any decision he made because I know where it came from. So I think the District 3 had very, very lucky to have him. And I really enjoyed working with him and learned a lot from him. So I'll present you with some certificate here and a pin. But, if any other commissioners want to say any few words for Mr. Dominguez or the staff, this is the time. Commissioner Montoya.
Yeah, I'll say a couple of words. Even though I didn't get to work up here on the board with former Commissioner Dominguez, know him personally, and I hope that I can follow along in his footsteps and fill those big shoes he had before me. So, congratulations again.
Well, Mr. Dominguez, I know we never formally met, but I do want to say that I look up to you as a mentor, and I'll tell you why. These last couple months, I've been learning the ins and outs of what I have to do here as a planning commissioner. And it's been pretty weird because during the first few meetings, we had to do it virtual, so I didn't have the opportunity to talk to people to learn the ins and outs of what this committee does. So I've been going on YouTube and looking at past meetings, and I can say that I learned a lot from you, and I have big shoes to fill. So thank you.
Now, Mr. Dominguez, Commissioner, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you, Chairman, Commissioners. I had a good time here. It was 4 years. I learned a lot when I was on there, Commissioner Ortiz, from my predecessors likewise, especially like Pat Owens. And working with smart attorneys like Chairman Duarte was very enlightening. But now you've got two attorneys of what I can see, right? Now, Art is young, steadily, and upcoming. He's extremely bright. Extremely bright. So, Art, you're going to go a long ways. You'll be, sitting in that chair with Mayor next to you. I can foresee that already. And Miguel, thank you, my friend. You were a sounding board, you were a confidant, although, like I said, we may not have voted the same way. But the bottom line is, you do what you do for your community, which is just not the city of Downey, but integrally, your district, right? Who are they? What are they? What do they want? That's what we're here to do, represent them. The staff, they're doing their job based on the books, but they're also a good sounding board and a good resource. So vote with your heart, and above all, have fun. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dominguez. And let me present you with the certificate of recognition and this pen.
Thank you, sir. All right, there you go. Excellent.
Brad, great to see you again. Okay. Does the Director of Community Development have any changes to the agenda?
No changes to the agenda, Chair Duarte.
Does the Director of Community Development have a report on City Council actions?
No reports on council action, Chair.
Okay, now is the time set aside for public hearing. The public hearing for special event permit application PLN-21-00121 is now open. Does the Secretary have proof of publication?
Yes.
Okay, will the Director of Community Development introduce staff making the presentation?
Thank you, Chair Duarte. Tonight we have our Assistant Planner, Giselle Enriquez, to make the presentation.
Good evening, Chairman Duarte and members of the Planning Commission. The item before you tonight is a special event permit, which is located at 11610 Lakewood Boulevard. The event will be held by Desert Ray Church, and this will be the church's 11th annual Harvest Festival, which is why it's important to know that this application is very similar to the ones that have been submitted in the previous years. This is an aerial of the subject property. As you can see, outlined in red. Outlined in yellow is where the event will take place, which is located at the southeast corner of Lakewood Boulevard and Hall Road. The following is the corresponding zoning of the subject property and its nearby areas. The property is zoned as professional office, and its nearby zoning will be to the north, you can find commercial. To the east and to the south, we have residential. And to the west, we have industrial. The event will take place on Sunday, October 31st from 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Some of the activities consist of inflatable rides, game booths, live entertainment, food sales, and among other things. The estimated amount of attendance is a maximum of 500 people. The following is the proposed layout of the event. We can find booths and rides all along the property. And there will be a DJ at the center of the site, which has been mindfully placed to avoid any noise nuisance to the nearby residential areas. I also want to point out that there are two pedestrian entrances, one along Hall Road and the other one near the rear parking area. The Development Review Committee met on September 16, and no departments expressed concerns over the proposed event. Therefore, they have issued standard conditions of approval. In conclusion, it is staff's opinion that all findings can be made in a positive manner. And with that, I conclude my presentation and welcome to answer any questions.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Ortiz, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I have one question. Does this Harvest Festival have any correlation with the one that's happening on October 30th?
I believe not. This
No?
is something that has happened the past 11 years, so not related to that.
Okay. That's the only question I have.
Commissioner Montoya?
Just one question. I noticed that there was off-site parking. Are people to walk if they were to use that parking? Or is there like a shuttle that's going to be used?
That's correct. So on site, we have 41 parking spaces, and off site, we have a total of 134 spaces. The off-site parking, there's some located right in front of the property, and those can be, pedestrians can walk pretty easily. But there is another site that is located a
Hall
little bit
Road.
more isolated, correct?
Yeah.
And that one, there will be shuttles coming in and out,
Okay.
correct?
Gotcha. Thank you. That concludes my questions.
Thank you. Only question I have, no incidents the last year or the last 11 from the police at all?
There's none.
Thank you very much. No further
you.
questions. Before I call the applicant or his or her representative, this would be the time for any planning commissioner to discuss any pre-hearing site visits or pre-hearing discussions the commissioners may have had about the project. Commissioner Montoya,
I have none.
Commissioner Ortiz,
I have none.
and I have none. Will the applicant or his or her representative please come forward to give testimony?
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Joyce Yasamura. I am the office administrator for Desert Rain Church.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about the application?
Yes, this, like she said, this is our 11th year. This is a free community event, and the reason why we do this is to offer a safe environment for the kids around the neighborhood where they can come, have fun, get candy, and just spend a nice, safe evening in an environment that's controlled in our parking lot.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Montoya, do you have any questions for the applicant?
No, nothing to add other than, like you were saying, it seems like a nice, fun, and safe alternative for kids to go do, as opposed to maybe walking around, where it's dark. So, thank you for continuing to provide this to the community.
Yes.
Commissioner Ortiz?
I also want to echo, I personally didn't know about this Harvest Festival. For Halloween, usually my family, we do something in Gallatin where we dress up as Disney characters and we help take pictures with kids and families right there. So you'll expect me to see me there on that day. So
Excellent.
thank you.
Look forward to it.
Yes, and I have no other questions, just to say thank you for doing this for the 11th year and providing this service to the community. Thank you very much.
Yes, and you're all welcome to come, bring your kids, your neighbors, invite everyone.
All right, thank you.
All right. Is that it?
Yes, that's it.
All right, thank you.
No problem. Has there been any correspondence in favor or opposition?
There has been no correspondence, Commissioner.
Okay, is there anyone who'd like to speak in favor or opposition of the application? None? Okay, now's the time. Does the planning staff have a recommendation?
Yes, Commissioner. Staff recommends approval of special event permit PLN 21-00121.
Okay. The hearing on the special event permit application PLN-21-00121 is closed. The planning commission, it is time for any discussion. Does the commissioners have any questions at this time or like to discuss anything? Commissioner Montoya, no?
No questions for me.
Nothing to report.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve PLN-21-00121.
And I second.
Okay, we have a first and second. Can we take a roll call vote?
Commissioner Uva, absent. Commissioner Ortiz,
Yes.
Commissioner Montoya,
Yes.
Vice Chair Owens, absent. Chair Duarte.
Yes.
Motion passed with 3 in support and 2 absent in favor to approve resolution number 21-3153 approving a special event permit for 11610 Lakewood Boulevard.
Okay, congratulations, and we'll see you there. Okay. Okay, moving along. Now is the time for non-agenda public comment. This portion provides an opportunity for the public to address the Planning Commission on items within the jurisdiction of the Planning Commission and not listed on the agenda. It is requested but not required that you state your name, address, and subject matter upon which you wish to speak. Please limit your comments to no more than 5 minutes. Pursuant to the Brown Act, no discussion or action other than a brief response, referral to the city manager, city council, city staff, or schedule for a subsequent agenda shall be taken by the Planning Commission on any issue brought forth under this section. And I see nobody here for non-agenda public comments, so moving on, the consent calendar, it looks, we had one item on here. It does not seem that we have quorum. So do we need a motion to table that for further agenda?
We'll just continue to the next meeting.
Yes, so that would be continued to the next meeting. Okay. Do we have any new business, or does any commissioner have any business to discuss? Commissioner Ortiz?
None to report.
Commissioner Montoya?
I just had a question. I know with the recent passing of SB 9, I haven't had a chance to read that in its entirety myself, but that will change, I imagine, some of the things that we do. So I was wondering if we'll kind of get like maybe like a one-pager or a rundown of how that will impact housing in Downey.
Yes, you're exactly right. SB 9 allows for the developments of fourplexes in residential neighborhoods which are zoned R1. And so it will turn neighborhoods upside down in our opinions. How fast is something that will be assessed over time. The state has, unfortunately, a very slow process of getting out guidelines after legislation's initiated. So that legislation goes into effect January 1st of 2022. Our challenge is we'll have people, specifically realtors, at our door at 7:30 a.m. on the first working business day of 2022, asking us how this affects it. So our city planner, Crystal Landvaz, and her team have already dug in to SB 9. So we're hoping for late November or early December to have some informational pieces for the Planning Commission and also for staff, so we can help direct people with their transactions and in terms of what they want to do with their property. Unfortunately, though, as I mentioned, we don't see the state getting us any direction probably until March at the earliest, June at the latest. And what they usually do is then they go through a revision another 6 months later, which will probably occur in November, December of 2022. We recently experienced this with the accessory dwelling units, the ADUs, and implementation of those. So they were initially implemented, I believe, in 2019. And then in 2020 is when the majority of the revisions came with that as well. So it's one of a couple legislative pieces that are really going to change how we do business.
Gotcha. Thank you.
And the only thing I have is, I know last time I spoke about the 7-Eleven in South Downey, the construction site, about maybe having code enforcement there. Also, residents had brought up the Denny's here on Firestone. The construction site kind of also was a little unkept, so maybe we can have somebody go by there and, code enforcement go by there and check things out.
Yes, most definitely. We'll send them out tomorrow to the former Denny site.
All right, thank you. And does the Director of Community Development have any additional comments?
No comments tonight. We've got the Dodgers playing in a playoff game, so.
There we go, yeah, go Dodgers. And the hearing now at 6:50 is concluded.